So while you're doing that, speaking of MMA, on November 13th at Empire Fighting Championship in Mississippi, my good friend's son is going to be defending his middleweight title. He won it 2 fights ago. Yeah, so this will be his third. This will be his second defense, third fight with it. So it should be pretty good, man. He was a Princeton D1 wrestler, and
I can't stand wrestlers. Even though I'm a wrestler, Dinno.
Okay.
Like, I like to wrestle, but I hate watching wrestlers fight in UFC and MMA. That shit just drives me insane.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from, especially if you go back all the way to the old UFCs where it was just, man, a guy gets taken down, ground and pound, end of story, that's it. But, it's effective, man. It's effective.
No, it definitely is effective. I hate watching it. Even though that's like, I'm a wrestler. Like, if you fight me, if you're beating me on the ground, I'm gonna wrestle your ass. I'm gonna choke your fucking ass out, right?
Yeah.
I could wrestle because I don't know what guy did, but he made me a good grappler, right?
Carlos, you hearing that?
Carlos don't want nothing.
We're gonna have you find out.
He's too slow. I'll tell you that right now. He looks too slow. So, who you think will win, me or Carlos?
Man, you really gonna do that to me? Look, man, Carlos is trained, man. Carlos is trained. I got to go with Los. I'm sorry.
You think so?
I got to.
Even if I'm a superior wrestler, not superior wrestler, because technique will always beat just athletic ability. But the speed is ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, like, I'm really like a cheetah in there.
I believe you. I believe you. I believe you.
And I used to wrestle in high school now.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. But I got to defend our boy Los here, man. Los, I got you.
I think I could beat Los on the ground. I'm telling you, Dinno. Like, I used to have wrestling matches where I'll be bleeding. Hey, ho. What's up? Hey, we just sent you the email. Look at this guy. Wrestling matches where I'll be bleeding. Hey, ho. You see this guy? I was in the Marine Corps with this guy, Dinno.
Oh, nice. Respect.
You see this guy? I was in the Marine Corps with this guy, Dinno. Oh, nice.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll call you right back once I get out.
Yes, sir. So I find this very disheartening that you think Los could beat me.
What do you want me to say, man?
What's his
Los
belt?
is trained.
What's his belt, though?
Well, I don't know now. Last I saw him, it was, I think purple, but I'm not sure.
I could be a pink belt and still beat Los.
Oh man!
I'm telling you, I'm just a natural in that. Like, if I train with your guy, I'll be fighting UFC in a year.
We are going to hear it from Los later. He probably can't be watching this right now, but wait till he hears this.
So, Dinno, you do UFC yourself, right?
Just jiu-jitsu, not full-blown MMA.
So no mixed martial arts?
No, sir. Just jiu-jitsu. And there's our boy. Let's add him in.
Adam.
Hey.
Oh, what's up, babe?
How's it going?
Yo, that's my brother Saurez, man.
Nice to meet you, Saurez.
Nice to meet you
He
too.
hates communists.
You motherfucker, you piece of shit.
Biden loving AOC piece of shit. Oh my god.
Whoa, those are some serious insults right there.
I see you got the Sabbath behind you.
Oh yeah, I got all the good bands right there.
Nice.
Yeah, you do. You do have some good taste in music. I will give you that.
Bro, what's that nutsack hair you got growing right here? What is this?
I don't know, bro.
Jeez.
That just came like 4 years ago. Hey, brother. So listen, we're talking about UFC, right? We know you're the UFC expert here.
Okay.
So listen, I got Alexander the Great tonight, right? Against Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega did look good against the Korean zombie, the Korean savage, whatever you want to call him. He did look more measured. He was picking his shots better. What do you think about that fight? And also, Brian Ortega did get knocked out by Max Holloway, which Alexander beat twice, which I think he lost the second round, the second fight, but that's my opinion.
I think there's going to be a lot of emotion in this fight. These two guys don't like each other. They've been talking shit. Volkanovski called him a drug cheat, I think, at the weigh-ins. Man, I don't know. You know, if they hit the ground, Ortega's got it. You know, he's got the superior jiu-jitsu. But I think Volkanovski might clip him. And I think Volkanovski's going to take it TKO round 3. That's my prediction.
I said the third round. No, I said third round, Robbie and Nate Diaz. Okay, so you might have him. You might have me there. Now, my man Dinno, that's my brother Dinno right there. He's a jiu-jitsu guy too. And he's thinking Alexander's gonna win as well, right? So what's going on here? You tell me.
Who you got for the Diaz fight?
I got Robbie this time, man.
You
I
think
got
so?
Robbie also.
Yeah, Nate fought him very early in his career. They both progressed as better fighters throughout the career. Now, here's the thing: I haven't seen Nate in the ring in over 9 years, 8 years. When was the fight he fought Anderson Silva?
2016, 2015?
That's a long fucking time.
Yeah.
You see how Conor was when he came back from a long time. He got that ring rust. So I think Robbie, they're both coming off of losing streaks as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nate Diaz is coming off a three losing streak. Robbie's coming off a 4-fight losing streak. But I don't know. I just like Robbie at 185 for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, dude, I'll say this. You know, I think if it hits the ground, Diaz takes it like no questions asked. However, you're going to have to watch out for those leg kicks from Robbie because Robbie's got some good leg kicks and Nick has a really heavy lead foot, which is a problem that his brother also has that gets him beat in a lot of his fights that he loses. Is that lead foot always gets beat up with those leg kicks. So we got to see what Robbie does with the leg kicks. And I think that's going to be a deciding factor right there.
Now, who did Nick Diaz fight last time? He fought the UK guy. What's his name? Leon Edwards. That's a prime example of what happened. He let that lead leg out, and Leon was just chewing at it until, you know, the 5th round, and he got pieced up and almost lost the fight because Nick is an idiot. You know, Nick, whatever the hell they're all the same person to me, right? So my brother Dinno, right? He likes Robbie too. So you got Nate going into this fight, Saurez? That's what you're telling me?
Nick.
I'm saying I think Nick is going to clip him with one of those awkward punches that he throws. Like, you saw the first fight, how he knocked him out. It wasn't like a mean uppercut or something like conventional. It's like this man's got some weird boxing. So I think he's going to hit him with a weird angle. And I think Robbie, because he's a wrestler, he's going to shoot in for a takedown. And I think Diaz is going to lock in a submission like that.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree.
I predict.
Now that fight, that was when they fought. That was like that was each other's like 9th MMA fight or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you this right now. Nick Diaz They're all the same person. He's gonna lose in the third round. He's haven't been in the ring in a while. It's gonna take him a long time to get adjusted to the speed of things. Robbie's been in there with killers. You know, the Ben Askren fight. I still think he won that fight. If you ask me, Kobe Covington dominated that fight, and one of the most I would say it was one of the most impressive performances ever, because who the hell would ever thought that? Mm-hmm. For 5 rounds, Kobe Covington threw like 600 punches and kicks, and I got Robbie. I don't see him losing 4 times.
Did you guys hear that thing that Nick asked to have the weight changed like a couple days before the fight?
Yeah, we were discussing. I wasn't clear on why he asked for the weight change, and I think the reason why is what's going to be one of the deciding factors. You know, like if he wanted the weight change because he couldn't make weight, then you could say maybe he's out of shape and not training right, or you know, who knows?
Right. We'll see.
I just think he's a lazy bum. And the Diaz brothers, they dictate the rules. So they're gonna fight. They're gonna say, okay, you know what? I'm not at 170. I'm gonna fight at 185 now. And Dana's gonna be like, yes, sir. So that's all that is. You know?
You know what? It just hit me when you said the Diaz brothers, and it reminded me of the meme from Jorge Masvidal saying, fuck the Diaz brothers from Scarface. That's why you're acting like this, because you're a Masvidal guy. That's why you're saying all this shit.
Hey, my guy's the BMF, man. You don't like Jorge?
No, I do. I do. I mean, I'm with you on it, but you know.
You're not a Masvidal guy, Saurez?
No, I like him for sure. I love his politics too, bro. That motherfucker doesn't shy away from speaking his mind either.
He does not. You're right. I like that.
Both from a communist hellholes.
That I'm sure that's a big reason why he acts like that too.
Right. Hey, did you guys hear that sad stuff that's going on right now with John Jones though?
Yes, I was just about to bring that up. I don't know all the details, man. Supposedly it was a domestic disturbance or something, and just a misdemeanor, but I don't know.
Yeah, all I read was domestic violence, and I think he might have like he messed up like a cop's car or something. So like vandalism to like police property or something like that.
Okay.
It's a shame.
Look, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, right? The police already picked their side during the pandemic. They wanted to follow all the edicts and orders from the governors and the mayors. So you know what? Fuck you guys, right? You want to follow orders from little dictators and enforce them on Black and Latino people? You can kiss my ass. And we hate you. So that's where I stand on it, right? So John Jones did a good thing. I gotta replace my camera, my battery. But you guys could continue on until I replace this battery.
Boy, today is nothing but technical difficulties, huh? Yeah, so I gotta admit, biased opinion about the John Jones story is 2 words: roid rage. You know, I'm definitely in the camp of thinking the dude does a lot of shit. And that usually puts you over the edge in those kind of situations, you know?
Right. I read something that he wants to get up to 270. That's crazy.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants to get up to 270 to fight Francis, which I think is a stupid idea of his.
That's crazy. Yeah,
I'm back from the dead.
And then, you know, if you get up that high in weight, you got to imagine how slow are you going to be? What's it going to change about you? And then you always got to worry about some monster like Derek Lewis knocking you the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
But honestly, what's the guy? Ciryl Gane? He just outclassed them. Like,
yeah, he did. Totally.
If Derek Lewis is to fight John Jones, the same thing will happen. I would say John Jones is faster. John Jones is more of a technical specialist. So the Francis fight needs to happen because Francis is way more athletic than Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis couldn't even get nowhere near Sorrell. It was a blowout. And I was going for Derek Lewis because I like the sweaty nut guy. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think? You think John Jones has a chance at? Because I seriously think after that performance, after Sorrell did against Derek Lewis, he's gonna beat Francis. What do you think, Suarez?
Bro, I don't know. I watched Francis Ngannou almost take off Alistair Overeem's head in Detroit. I watched that shit live. When before he was a champion, he almost killed Alistair Overeem in Detroit. And man, that dude is like he's got the nuclear option in his hands. Like one touch and that's it. That's all he needs. So we'll see. We'll see, because MMA is different from boxing, where these guys, like in boxing, they can take a lot of hits and keep on fighting. In MMA, it just takes one. So I don't know, man. And nobody's ever hit Cyril Gane hard enough for us to know like if he's got a chin or not. So we gotta find that out too.
Now I would say this, right? Francis in his last fight with Stipe, very scary. Fucking terrifying. Like I shiver in knowing that someone exists like that, right? But when he starts fighting these more technical fighters, I think he's gonna have a big problem. I think he's gonna have a massive problem. If he fights someone like Sorrell and John Jones, he's gonna have a big problem, I think. I would say Sorrell is more of a season in the heavyweight division. You know, John Jones for majority of his career, well, most of his career as a light heavyweight. What do you think John Jones transition to heavyweight would look like?
Man, it's gonna be hard. Look at what happened to Adesanya when he went and fought the Polish, what's his name, Blachowicz. Yeah, and he lost. You know, he got dominated. He got the bigger guy used his size, used his wrestling, and just laid on top of him, and ground and pounded him out. You know, I think we're gonna have to see how his stamina holds up too. I think that's gonna be the biggest issue.
I think one of the things that Jones always had over his opponents in that weight class was his unusual size to weight ratio, so he had a reach and a height that nobody else in that division could match except for Gustafsson, and those were close fights.
The first fight was close.
Yeah, so I think that once he moves up and he's going to find out what it's like, the guys that are going to match him up pound for pound, inch for inch.
Well, here's the thing, right? John Jones never lost his career. Only to who? Matt Hamill, to a fucking technical bullshit. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, John Jones is not a loser. He has no loser DNA in him. You see his fucking brother, Chandler Jones, got 5 sacks in one game. Like, this family is just like ridiculous. So listen, John Jones versus Francis, John Jones is winning that. John Jones versus Cyril Gane, he's losing that, in my opinion. They both have similar fighting. I will give the slight edge to John Jones in the wrestling, in the Greco department, which did you do some Greco wrestling in your past, Suarez?
Yeah.
Greco. So, yeah, I would give the slight advantage to John Jones in the wrestling department, but Cyril, his kickboxing looks fucking fantastic. He looks athletic. He has a long reach. All the things that John Jones don't like, even though he disproved it against the Gustafsson fight the second time around. He fought a fighter finally similar to his stature, Well,
we gotta see what happens with this. It's not like pop for steroids and they're gonna give him a 6-month or 8-month ban. This is domestic violence. Like, who knows with this?
Yeah, but this is also not the NFL. Like, if this was the pussy NFL league, they would have suspended him for 10,000 years. But thank God this is UFC, and Dana White, you know, he doesn't really care about politics and how people see politics in his whole department. So, you know,
I like the way you put that. Thank God this is the UFC. What the rest of that sentence was, thank God this is the UFC. Yeah, fuck it. You can be a criminal, man. Who gives a fuck?
who gives a fuck? You got Greg Hardy there. Greg Hardy just got knocked out by that fat ass Hawaiian motherfucker. What's that guy's name? Tua's fucking drinking liquor from his shoe and all that craziness. Yeah. And he's a fucking hell of a kickboxer, by the way. So Dana White doesn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so John Jones gonna be back and he's gonna fucking kick some more ass or whatever. So let's before we transition, right? Can the UFC find actually good fighters for their championship women fighters in their divisions? Look at the girl, what's her name? Valachinka fighting, right? The girl she's fighting looks like a fucking meth head. Murphy. You're telling me listen, Murphy looks like a meth head. I'm sorry. Dana White, where are you finding these girls at? We do not know.
No, it's drying up, bro. Like they have no competition. Like Valentina's got no competition. What's that other one?
Amanda Nunes. Yep.
She's got no competition. So they're just gonna be like fighting like a recycling door, man. Like just the same girls over and over again.
Yeah, and that's boring. That's why I don't understand cutting Cyborg. Cyborg is the only person. Like she probably would have not been able to fight Valachinka, but I'd rather see a part 2 against her and Amanda Nunes. Like, Cyborg went out on her shield, and okay, but you don't cut her after that. That's bullshit. Like Tyron Woodley against his who's the last guy he fought? What's his name? Luke. Tyron Woodley said, listen, I'm on a losing streak. I'm going to go out on my shield. Though I don't think that was Cyborg's case there. I think just Cyborg underestimated Amanda Nunes and her power, and that's what happened. But that should have been a part 2.
Yeah.
That's Amanda Nunes' only competition. Though I would say her only good fights have been against Angelina, but she's at 125 and she's dominating. Like what she did to Andre Ward is just that's just like profane. Like it's classic. You know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that, Saurez?
On who? On the division, on the women's division?
Why do you think the Dana White keeps on hiring meth heads to fight UFC fighters?
Bro, I've talked to a couple of these girls, like professional girls, and a lot of them feel like they need to basically like hold themselves out to get noticed. Like they need to like be showing cleavage and showing their ass on their IGs, and a lot of them don't want to do it. A lot of them just want to fucking fight. But those are the girls that like they look rough, you know what I mean? Like some of these girls that all they want to do is scrap and train. Those are the ones that look like dudes. And those are the ones that don't get promoted, unfortunately. So
what's that girl, Paige Van Zant, right? So basically, they're saying that they don't want to be a Paige Van Zant who is, showing off her body and is mediocre at MMA and et cetera, right? So would you agree to that?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Do you know who Kayla Harrison is?
She's supposed to be
judo, right?
Yeah, for the PFL.
She wants to fight Clarissa Shields, correct?
Yeah. So she's one of those girls, like she's a killer, like she's undefeated. She actually beat Ronda Rousey in the Olympics. And now she's the PFL champion. I think 135 or 140. I'm not sure. But she's one of those girls, like you don't see her like showing her tits or like, doing all this extra shit on social media, but they don't push her as hard as they do the girls that, like Paige Van Zant. And you know who Rachel Ostovich is?
Unaware, brother.
The what? Oh, unaware.
Yeah.
She fought Paige Van Zant, which is another like girl who has like a 3-5 MMA record, right? But the UFC pushed her because she does all like that over the top, like
Instagram bullshit.
stuff. Exactly.
So basically, what you're saying is Paige Van Zant is the Sha'Carri Richardson of the track field. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Okay. Listen, y'all chat it up. I need a drink real quick because my cup is a little empty. Okay.
All right.
Oh, well, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and ask you then. What's your favorite Sabbath album?
Sabbath. It has to be the first one, the very first one.
Man, I like that one a lot. I'm going to go with Master of Reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, Into the Void just, I think, is it, man.
Yeah. I can't remember the song. It's The Thrill. I can't remember the song right now, man. But Black Sabbath overall, man. I'm a huge Ozzy fan. Like, regardless if it's just Sabbath or Ozzy, I just love Ozzy. It's some of my favorite music, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of a late in life big metal guy. I grew up mostly punk rock, you know, and like, man, in my day, man, back in the 80s, you were like enemies, man. It was almost like gang warfare, you know. But now I'm totally into it. I totally love it. Yeah.
I got a favorite song from Black Sabbath. It wasn't Ozzy wasn't the lead singer though. It was
Theo.
Theo, yeah. Hold on, what's this? It's like about sniffing cocaine and shit like that. It's what's the song? You should know the song.
About sniffing cocaine?
Yeah, it's about sniffing cocaine. Ozzy was a singer on it.
Oh, Snowblind.
Snowblind, there you go. That's my fucking favorite Black Sabbath song.
So
Listen, we're gonna transition, right? We're gonna transition into Chris Cuomo being accused of sexual assault. Now, Chris Cuomo is being accused by his former boss, right? So I'm gonna pop this up and I'm gonna see y'all guys' thoughts on this, right? Let's see right here. Share screen. That's not it. So now when you read this article, right? The first paragraph, Chris Cuomo accused of sexually harassing ex-boss Shally Ross at 2005 party, right? So when you read it down, it says a former ABC executive producer has accused Chris Cuomo of sexually harassing her at 2005 work party after he grabbed her butt in front of her husband and co-workers. What's the possibility of Chris Cuomo grabbing her butt in front of his wife?
The possibility? 100% man.
I mean, he is pretty jacked. Like, look at this guy. He's pretty jacked, right?
He is, because he's a dumb Guido.
He is a dumb Guido. Now look at her husband. He's a dweeb, right?
Yeah, that is a dweeb. That's a definition of dweeb.
So do you think her husband would just let that thing happen?
In that case, yes. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna hit you from a different dimension, right? Maybe they're just swingers, right? Because white people are notoriously for being swingers. So Dinno, since you're the only white person in this chat, would you agree with this assessment?
Man, I'd love to play along with that shit, dude, but I don't know any fucking swingers, man. Come on. But I think you're right in saying that if anybody was to know any, they'd be white. I think I can go with that.
So have you came across any swingers in your lifespan, Saurez?
Shit, maybe in the Marine Corps. There's some weird fucking couples there. You know that.
I would agree with you on that. There is a bunch of weird people in the military, in particular the Marine Corps. There's a bunch of weird motherfuckers.
So wait, did that Cuomo guy do the same excuse as his brother? The whole what was it like? I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian.
Whoa,
Greatest
whoa, whoa,
excuse ever.
relax. Dinno here is Italian.
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's
he
and
likes
that's why
his
I know better,
movies.
man. But on a serious note about this Cuomo thing, I think we need to look at, first it's his brother, now it's him, and we know nothing happens in politics without a reason. If they were still the darlings of their party, of their establishment, whatever, anything that they do would be covered up. So they pissed off somebody somewhere along the way, and it'd be kind of interesting to, find out what that is.
I just think the Democrats, like, they're like super strategists. So like with Harvey Weinstein, right? It's like, okay, we need to destroy someone that's close to us so we could start going at Donald Trump for his sexual assault claim. So they started all this Me Too bullshit because of Donald Trump, to be honest. So some sort of strategist behind the scenes started saying, okay, who should we go after? Let's pick Harvey Weinstein. And that's sort of my theory, right? Like there's no facts to back that up, right? But I just know how demonic Democrats are, and they have some fucking, like, they probably like praying to Satan for strategy, because they're like, they'll throw anybody over the bus or over, what's that famous saying? Under the bus, just to accomplish their agenda. So they threw Harvey under the bus so they could get to Donald Trump. And then in the meantime, it started all this Me Too crap. And then they came at the R. Kelly and said, okay, we're being fair. It's not only white person, it's a black person. So that's my sort of thinking pattern.
I think that's definitely a valid point. And it's just not where I'm coming from. I think that they pissed off the wrong people, that there's something behind the scenes that we don't know about,
Okay, so listen, we need to address the monkey in the room, right? This trans UFC fighter, right? Who thinks she could kick my ass? Y'all could be honest with me. I don't give a crap.
I think
she's fighting at
you better be on your toes.
She's fighting at 145 right now. Saurez.
I don't know, man. I remember what you did to that kid in the Philippines. Remember when we were doing those like exhibitions or whatever in front of the Filipino Marines, and you almost killed like the instructor's like little pet monkey or whatever, and then
I broke the kid's leg.
Yeah.
And the fucking instructor got mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to the fucking lieutenant colonel, which was a great guy, Lieutenant Colonel Castro. And Lieutenant Colonel Castro said, I don't give a fuck, man. They were doing what the hell they were doing. That guy is one of the greatest people I ever came across. Absolutely. But let's get back to it, right? The sergeant that was in charge of us wrestling, he was a fucking dickhead about it. He got mad at me, Dinno, because I broke the kid's leg. And I was going too hard, he said. And then I beat the other fat Filipino guy that they thought they could beat me too. So I was trying to tell Dinno in the beginning of the podcast, I'm like, listen, naturally, I'm a very instinctive wrestler. So he wasn't believing me. And you just brought up this story. I didn't text you to bring up this story, okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't say I didn't believe you. I'm just saying I know a lot of people that have said the same shit.
So listen, I could beat Alana ass with one arm. I'm telling you right now. Like, she's a walking punching bag. All I need is my right hand.
I'd love to see
her up. I'm piecing her up. She blocked me on Instagram.
Did she talk to you? Did she actually like message back to you?
No, she sent people to surveil my. Stop! My damn dog is trying to eat my pizza box because there's a pizza in there. But she or he, whatever, she was sending people to come and look at my page on Instagram and saying, "Oh, this is his page right here." But she blocked me before I could like send her an app. Her name was Lady Farrell. Before I could send that, now I can't anymore. So
Jesus. So she doesn't fight with men and she doesn't argue with men either.
yeah, she only picks on women, basically. Which I think my wife will kick her ass.
Very nice.
So before we move on from this topic, who you think will win? Me or Alana?
I gotta give it to you, Chu. You got this one. You got this one.
I got it. What about you, Dinno?
I'm taking you on this one.
Are you saying that because I'm your co-host and you just want to make me, giggle and laugh and happy?
Yes.
Okay.
At least I'm honest.
Oh man. So Dinno, is there anything you want to talk about right now, man?
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and pull up some windows here and see what I got, man. I got all kinds of crap, man, because so much stupid shit has been going on. But you know what? Let's start with this one here, and let's do this here, man.
Well, go ahead.
So Pfizer is now recalling all of the Chantix drugs, and if you look into the history of Chantix, they had been experimenting with those specific chemicals in it for a while, but it got approved in 2006. All right. So it's been around a long time, So I would say any long-term damage that is possible from this stuff it's already done. But I'm sure anybody with half a brain is going to see where I'm going with this. Pfizer is now recalling a drug they got approved a long time ago, and we're supposed to trust them with the V word. So I think that's fairly obvious, and it's just proof. And then you got J&J with the carcinogen in the talc powder. So. There's just a whole bunch of reasons why you shouldn't be trusting things quite so damn easy. And here's something that people legitimately believed in. It had been around, so it came out in 06. Let's say you didn't start taking it till, 2017. You figure it's definitely good. And nope, it's cancer causing, So I think that's a big issue.
You mean to tell me the most trusted vaccine manufacturer is recalling drugs? Are you telling me that, sir? This is impossible. You are lying. I love Biden and the CDC. Okay? There's no way Pfizer is recalling drugs. They're the most trusted in the business and the industry.
Don't they have the largest fine of all time in history? It's biggest
top 5. It's top 5,
so.
brother.
Right.
They're up there with GlaxoSmith and Moderna and all that crap. But listen, those numbers, that article you read is fake news. They are a trusty brand, and we could entrust in them. They're good. Dr. Fauci told us we could trust them. So you being a Marine, you need to stop that. Okay, sir? All right?
Yep. That's a misinformation there, man, But yeah, man, we got all kinds of good stuff today. So, on that same kind of topic here, let's go with not that one. Let me pause this here. Let's go with this, and I'll show you what I got here. This is going to be some good stuff here. Okay. All right. So here it says, too late. House passes amendment to defund the Wuhan lab middleman outfit Eco Health Alliance, pretty much, the article is pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to sit there and read the whole thing and, bore everybody with it, whatever. There's no crazy new revelations other than what the headline says. So if you think about that for a second, isn't that an admission of guilt? They've been saying all this time that they didn't fund anything. They didn't do it, and here it is.
Hold on. Are you telling me that my Lord and Savior, Dr. Fauci, is lying to me? Is that what you're proclaiming here?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Because you got to figure they can't defund something if they didn't fund it in the first place. But all of this stuff's just going to get swept under the fucking rug, man. It is,
So
didn't Rand Paul already put him on the spot with that stuff? Where he basically made him admit to all these like funding and all that shit that he lied to?
Well, he did.
What's funny is in that exchange, man, Rand Paul pulled up basically receipt after receipt, document after document, whatever. But Fauci would never admit it. He just kept saying, like, no, you are wrong. You do not know, whatever the hell.
You are lying, Dr. Rand Paul.
Exactly.
I'm from Boston and I'm a star now. So all the celebs like me. I'm Dr. Fauci. My Dr. Fauci impersonation sucks.
That sounded actually a lot more like Donald Trump, man, to be honest with you. But that Rand Paul did basically shut him up, but he would never admit it. And evidently, these are some of the documents that Rand Paul was talking about.
So basically, Dr. Fauci is a piece of shit.
No doubt.
Basically,
100%.
Okay, so let's transition right here, right? Let's talk about the Texas Rangers whipping the illegal immigrants of Haiti, right? Because if the Texas Rangers were whipping people from El Salvador, aren't you from El Salvador, Saurez?
No, Colombia.
Panama? You're from Colombia?
Yes.
No fucking way.
Colombia.
So you're from Colombia. So
yeah.
let's say that the Texas Rangers was whipping somebody from Colombia. Do you think they will give a fuck?
No.
And let's just say, because all the idiots that think that they were whipping them, they're fucking retarded as fuck, because you could show different photo angles and the guy was not whipping none of the people. This video camera is that people are so lazy that they can't take the time to look at the video and see what actually happened. And in the video, he didn't whip anybody.
Even the dude that took the picture came out saying it recently that no one was whipping nobody. Like the photographer who like took that main picture just came out saying that no one was whipping anybody.
So no one's getting whipped, but Joe Biden and Kamala Harris automatically spring into action, right? They say, oh, because apparently Joe Biden can answer no questions unless it's related to race, right? Because the Democrats have a stranglehold on racial politics. So, of course, Joe Biden finally became a president and chose to speak up against these injustices against the dark-skinned people from Haiti, right? But it's a fucking fraud. So, do you think this hoax continues? Do you think, because I feel Black and Latino people are slowly waking up and they're saying, wow, these guys are a piece of shit. They're not doing anything for us. The first thing they do when they get into office, they give the Asians an anti-hate crime bill, which when there's already anti-hate crime laws already on the books. So what do you think the future is for the Democrats going on in 2024?
Who's taking
Good, Suarez.
I'll be honest, man. I don't know. It's a dark future is all I can really say. Like, I know for me, being Colombian here in America, man, like they expect me to fall in line and just vote a certain way and to think a certain way and to talk a certain way. And I experienced that shit going to college. And when I used to open my mouth and these like people would look at me like you don't like Obama, like you don't like, you know, the Democrats, and you don't like Hillary Clinton, and you don't think Donald Trump is the most evil person on earth, and like you're against illegal immigration and all this shit. And like I feel like the brown and the black community, like you said, are waking up, but they're not waking up fast enough. And it needs to happen quicker because these fucking people are taking over our lives. You look at all the Democrat-run cities, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, like all these other cities that are run by left, you know, people. All they do is give us these false sense of like, you know, empty promises that they're gonna change our futures and they're gonna do things for our kids and they're gonna change the way that our lives are, and then we give them our vote and then they do nothing. You know, like I come from Colombia, like I said, dude, like my city is on the border with Venezuela. So my city got like hammered, and I mean like hammered when the whole like Maduro and like their economy basically imploded. And we have like hundreds of thousands of people crossing into our border every day from these failed socialist programs. These like you see the dependency that the government builds in the people to make them addicted to what they can give them. So I think black and brown people need to start waking the fuck up, dude, because we're falling asleep. And you know, culturally, I think black and brown we're very much behind in terms when you compare it to like, let's say the Asians who focus their cultural things are more towards are angled more towards like learning and education and bettering your future. And I don't know, man, I don't see that for the brown and black people right now because we're more focused on like the flash. Exactly.
What hat Drake is wearing. All that stupid shit.
Well, and again, you know, a lot of that is being fostered by, I guess, if you want to say the powers that be, or hell, you know, like, you know, we'll say the rich white people up at the top, whatever, you know, they're fostering that to make sure that you stay that way and you keep voting that way. You keep living that way, you know. And something I said, man, I've been saying this honestly, probably for decades, man, you know, I'm from New Orleans, you know, which is a highly mixed place where it's like, actually, I'm a minority, you know, pretty much, you know, it's a mostly black area. And I think it was kind of easy to see, you know, as, you know, growing up as like white trash or whatever, you know, I was able to think that, man, if everybody just noticed for a second that we're all actually on the same team, you know, man, you pull white trash that are, you know, now they're Trump voters, whatever. It was probably, you know, whatever, you know, Ronald Reagan back then, whatever, you know, you got them, you know, man, black people, Latino, man, we're on the same fucking team. You know, you got the man up at the top. It's fucking every last one of us, you know? And now, like you're saying, a lot of people are starting to wake up to that and they're working into overdrive to try to squash that.
You know what's very interesting? If anyone's seen the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, Fred Hampton united blacks, Latinos, and trailer park trash all together in Chicago in the Black Panther Party back in the days. And what they did, they assassinated him in the movie.
Right.
So what's very interesting is that it seems like even if people are waking up that Joe Biden is not doing what he's supposed to do and he's not doing anything that he promised the black and brown community, I think that people are just becoming aware, like awakening. And that's what we just need. We don't need you to like vote a certain way. We just need you to become aware. That's what we always wanted. Because the Democrats of today, they're not the Democrats that happened during the George Bush era. During the George Bush era, those Democrats cared about 9/11. They were the 9/11 truthers. They cared about the Patriot Act. They cared about fucking Saudi Arabia and Qatar running our airports. They cared about free speech. Nowadays, the Democrats don't give a fuck about shit. All they care about is, please protect us from Donald Trump. We're scared of him. Oh. You know, and that's just insane. Like, you're just so scared of Republicans. Like, listen, majority of Republicans or Donald Trump supporters are not really registered Democrats or Republicans. And majority of black people don't know that they are actually conservative, whether they like it or not. If you believe in a traditional household of a mother and a father, you're conservative. If you believe in, you know, let's say Christianity, that will make you sort of a conservative. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really Republican or Democrat. I have conservative principles. I have liberal ideas, and I just want America to run better, especially in these poor and disenfranchised communities. So, but when you have a majority of Black and Latinos saying, "Oh, Joe Biden's not doing anything wrong. We're gonna vote for Kamala next," like there's seriously a problem when they keep on voting and voting and voting for the same people that aren't doing anything for them.
Well, there's a problem, bro, in our cultures right now where it's, you know, we have to just stick together regardless if that person is good or bad for us or not. And there's way too many wolves in sheep clothing right now who are attaching themselves to these movements. You know, like, for example, what happened with, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement. Got it. It was a movement that was like great in what it wanted to accomplish and all this other stuff. But look what it became. It was just a bunch of like people who basically wanted to implement their communist ideals and got bought out by, like, you know, basically like these left-wing like billionaires, and now you got them like basically siphoning money from the organizations so they can go buy mansions and all this other crazy shit that they're doing. So there's a lot of our own people that are willing to sell ourselves out. You brought up the Black Messiah movie, right? How many times has that not happened in movements where you look at, like, even like Malcolm X, where he was the leader of something, but his own people were willing to sell him out or like give him up to the next person who's willing to chop his head off.
And you know what the crazy thing about that is? Malcolm X fucking exposed a pedophile. Man. And his own people went against him because because they were so brainwashed. They said, "Oh, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he's God, he's almighty, he could do no wrong." And he's a fucking pedophile. He's sleeping with 14, 15, 16-year-olds, having babies with them and shit like that. And Malcolm X, the most honorable man in the world of politics and history and ancient civilizations, he says, "No, this guy is a pedophile, and maybe you might want to wake up your eyes," and they kill him.
Well, you know what's funny? Man, I bring up Malcolm X a lot to people because I find it funny that I have to use the same argument if I'm arguing with someone Black, Latino, whatever, or someone racist white. It's the exact same argument. So let's just hypothetically say I tell a Black guy, "Man, you know, you need to remember that at the end, Malcolm X did start preaching unity. You know, he got rid of the whole, you know, down with the man, not down with the man, but you know what I'm saying? You know, he really changed his tone a lot. And then at the same time, I got to tell racist white people the exact same thing. I'm like, man, you got to remember Malcolm X, blah, blah, blah.
So you know racist white people, Dinno?
I'm sorry?
So you know racist white people?
Look at me. You don't think I do? Man, let me tell you some true shit, dude. When you look like me, racists of all types will approach you, man. True fucking story here, man. I'm on the subway, probably the one, you know, I took that one a lot. And man, some Black dude gets on there and he starts yelling the most vile shit that I won't repeat out of respect. The most vile shit about Hispanic Americans, Latinos, whatever, you know, coming across the border and all sorts of racial epithets and everything. Motherfucker walks up to me and says, I know you agree, my man. And I'm like, thank God my fucking stop was right there, man. Because you know how those motherfuckers on the subway are, man. You know, you can't say yes or no. Man, that is going to turn into some shit. So luckily I was able to get the fuck out of there. But that kind of shit happens to me all the fucking time. So yes, I do know them. Oh, and actually, I'll go ahead and out some white people for y'all because this is actually pretty funny. I can always tell where a conversation.
All the racist white people, okay? We need to.
Wait, what?
We need to dox them. All the racist white people. They are destroying America.
Man, whenever a white dude, and usually Italians too, man, you know, yeah, it's usually them that do me this shit the most, man. When they start their conversation by looking over their shoulder, I'm like, man, I know every time where this fucking conversation's gonna go.
Hey, there's no fucking cannolis over here. There's what they call there's a fucking fruit which racist Italians call black people. What is that word?
The Mulignano. It's a
Mulignano, right?
It's an eggplant.
It's a eggplant, and they call them they call black people Mulignano. Oh, there's no Mulianos around here. Let me see if there's any Mulianos. Yeah, but I would say that's usually the old school, like the old school class of Italians. Like people that are racist nowadays, they have to be like 50, 60, 70 years up.
Usually is older
bracket, you know, because I simply because you know, me and Saurez, we served in the Marine Corps together. We were brothers. It didn't matter what race or creed you were, you know, white, black, you know, Latino, Asians, you know, South Korean or Antarctica, whatever. Like wherever the fuck you were, we did not care. Like, if you like to drink liquor, you like to drink Hennessy, you like to drink tequila, like this guy, like his posse was just insane. Like they would drink like on work days and show up to work drunk and shit like that, you know. But you know, they're Mexican and Colombian, so what you expect?
Yeah, it was a rough combination, man. But I'll say this, dude, like, and it's gonna sound weird because I've said this to people before. I'm gonna miss the days where you could know who was the racist, because it used to, like, I'll take any day of the week. I'll take someone that comes up to me, calls me a spick, a wetback, you know, anything south of the border is Mexico, all that shit. Bro, I've even been like, I told my girl this story before, bro. The worst thing I've ever been called in my life, and there's no restrictions on this, right?
No. Go ahead, brother.
Right. The worst shit I've ever been called in my life, bro. I got called a brown nigger. And that was the one thing in my life. Like, I've been called a lot of shit before, and it sparks that thing in me to like, let's go fight. But I got called that, and I was like, wait, hold up, I'm a what? Like, that shit just it took me to a different like planet. But I'll take somebody like that over these type of new racists that exist in colleges who want to be my friend, who want to use me as that token spick in their back pocket.
Token ally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the minute that I step out of line, though, then you see them go like revert back to being actual racist.
Yeah. So at first you're an ally. Oh, Saurez, he's brown. He's an ally of ours. We are white liberal Democrats. And then once Saurez says, well, these damn Mexicans shouldn't be fucking approaching our damn border, they're like, oh my God, Saurez, are you serious? You're hate speeching us right now. We need our safe space.
But this video is going to get fucking pulled, man.
Oh shit.
Honestly, I don't think I could have gone to like these college campuses because I just can't stand insanity. Like, oh, I need a safe space. Oh, you're preaching hate speech. Like, what? Like this is what America is about. Like, it's called freedom of speech. And all these stupid ass Democrats are saying, oh, Donald Trump had mean tweets, so we must ban everybody. And once they went for Ali Jones, they went for Louis Farrakhan, and then they started noticing. But once they start going for their favorite rappers, like, you know, Little Baby and the Drake and Rowdy Rich and whatever, like then they're gonna start waking up and like, yo, what the fuck are these Democrats doing? And until that happens, you know, it's just gonna be business as usual, unfortunately.
But isn't it kind of ironic, these liberals that kind of want this weird totalitarian system where the government gets to tell everybody how to behave, act, and speak? But look at the way that those people behaved, the liberals behaved during the Trump presidency. Those would be the first people to get fucking taken into the back of the trucks in the middle of the night for speaking about the president that way. You know what I mean? Like imagine in North Korea, them doing and saying the things they said about Trump, but about Kim Jong-un or whatever. They'd be gone.
And they don't realize that because either they read history and misinterpreted it, or they just didn't read history at all. Because if they read history, they would know that, you know, the Chinese communists, when Mao came in, you know, he had the color revolution, and, you know, and then, you know, with Stalin, he sacked all his generals, and Castro, he got rid of all his political dissidents. So they don't know that when a tyrant and a dictator comes into place, they start getting rid of all their political enemies, you know, left and right, until there isn't anymore, until you have a Cuba, which, you know, they have all the guns, they have all the weapons, and my damn fucking dog keeps on, he's gay. I have a gay dog, ladies and gentlemen. I have a gay dog. I'm sorry. I don't want to say this, but my dog keeps on trying to lick me in weird places, and he's gay.
Because it smells. Well, man, on what you were just saying, man, there's this awesome old song from a punk band back in the 80s called the Dead Kennedys. And it was a song called
Not Dead Kennedys.
I'm sorry?
I love the Dead Kennedys.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a song called Nazi Punks. And I guess we could change that for 21st century and just say Antifa, you know, and say that the song is about Antifa. But one of the last lines in it is talking about the real Nazis, the real establishment. And he says, they're coaches, businessmen, and cops. In the real Fourth Reich, you'd be the first to go.
Mm.
And that's pretty much what we're saying here, that these, you know, these fools, yeah, under any other administration would be gone, you know.
And I misinterpreted you, Dinno. The band that I was thinking about is called Alexis on Fire. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. They have a song called Kennedy Curse. So I was thinking of that band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. I don't know if you guys saw this, that was it like the Senate was voting on something in regards to how much money they were going to give Israel for the Iron Dome and all this stuff. And AOC started crying because she had to change her vote or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy, brother? I wanted to talk about that today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, House Democrats wanted to strip funding from America to Israel for the Iron Dome project. And for the people out there that don't know what the Iron Dome is, the Iron Dome is something that protects Israel from incoming missiles and rockets that come into their country, since they're surrounded by Muslim countries, right? So basically, AOC and her squad of Ilhan Omar and all those damn retards, they want Israel to be bombed, right? And can y'all clarify this for me? Is Israel a NATO country?
Good question. I don't think so, because it's the North Atlantic Treaty Association.
Yeah, but also they were also working on Turkey becoming a NATO member. So I know it does reach out far and above.
Okay.
So last time I checked, I thought Israel was a NATO member. I could be wrong. We could double check.
Yeah, they may be.
Fact checked it, but they want Israel to be bombed, even though they're surrounded by terrorists. And listen, I'm not saying everything Israel does is good, which is not. You know, they probably shouldn't be going into the Gaza Strip and taking over land. Like maybe they should just stick to Israel and not, reaching into Egypt's, that sort of. But you're basically telling the country like, fuck it, we don't give a damn if you're a bomb, you deserve it. Like I find that sick in the head, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle on that because I don't think we should be paying for any other country's shit.
But we do, regardless. We pay for Afghanistan, Pakistan, you
Absolutely.
name it. They call it.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Like if we're going to do it for every country that we don't like or shouldn't like, then we should do it for one that we do. Yeah.
But I just find that like very laughable. Like they just reveal their hand.
Well, there's one of the crazy detail about that too. And she changed her vote to present instead of no, as per what her stance should have been. So a lot of people are questioning, was it really just her grandstanding? Which is highly likely, knowing her.
Which she's Donald Trump as a female body. Like if Donald Trump was a woman, it would be AOC. They're very similar and grandstanding and using hyperbolic speech and shit like that. Just unfortunately, I love Donald Trump and I hate AOC, even though she's from the Bronx. And all these stupid ass people from New York. Oh, he's from the Bronx. Let's love and respect him. No, fuck you. I hate you. Like, just because Cardi B is from the Bronx, I don't need to love Cardi B. I fucking hate Cardi B. Like, I like Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nicki Minaj is actually, for people choosing if they want the vaccine or not. But all these stupid ass Democrats, they're like, no, get the vaccine because Biden says so. And you're killing everybody. Like, I hate these people. Like, I hope you just like migrate somewhere else. We don't need you here. So,
well, talking about AOC being from the Bronx, I suppose to give her cred, whatever. Man, you ever seen her husband? Man, it's some white dude straight out of like Greenwich, Connecticut, polo, fucking golf course. I mean, all of the above,
Yeah, he's a cracker, as Charlemagne the God would say, right? And
he stole that from Chris Rock, dude.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. But listen, even Kamala Harris, her husband's white. Ilhan Omar, her husband's white. Maxine Waters' husband is probably white, which I don't know. But listen, all these white prominent Democrats, their husbands are some crackers.
So you're saying I got a chance?
You might have a chance. Let's see who you might have a chance with. Kamala's taken. Ilhan Omar's taken. AOC's taken.
Lori Lightfoot doesn't play for the straight team, unfortunately.
Hey, man, me and Alana Presley get the same haircut.
Whoa, that is right. That is correct. I'm trying to think. I don't think who you have a shot against, Dinno. I don't think I know.
Yeah, I think they're all taken, man.
They're all taken, unfortunately, by other white people, huh? That's so unfortunate. But what were we talking about?
AOC, Iron Dome.
Mm-hmm. So now that we talk about AOC and the Iron Dome, right? Let's talk about how big tech is not wanting any of their employees coming back to work, and they want everybody to basically work from home, right? But in order to work from home, you have to use their cloud. So, which means they're spying on everything that you're doing on the internet. So, how long is it until these businesses start saying, oh, you went to Breitbart? You went to Drudge Report? Oh my God, you went to Gateway Media? How dare you? You're fired. How long until that happens, Dinno?
I say it's imminent. I don't think we can say how long, man. it's going to be happening very soon. You know, just like we see, like, you know, PayPal, credit card companies, you know, stopping people's accounts, bank accounts. What's his name? Michael Flynn lost his bank account, I believe, right? You know, so
Laura
yeah,
Ingraham.
it's coming sooner than later.
And they also got that thing. Was it Apple that they're using the excuse that they have a software that can go through your pictures to see if you have child pornography. So they're like using that as a blanket to, you know, get into all your data and get in through your phone without having to have a warrant or any court documents or anything.
Right.
Yeah, and speaking of Apple, Apple currently wants to remove Facebook and Instagram off of their app website or app, whatever, right? Because Facebook and Instagram have apps where they've been, so in Facebook and Instagram, supposedly and allegedly, they have human trafficking on their websites. So in Facebook, supposedly they have human trafficking where they make it easier for you to buy people and sell people, and Instagram as well. So Apple wants to ban Facebook and Instagram for having secret slave markets uncovered on their app. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I actually didn't know about that. So that actually sounds a little interesting, man. Like, you know, I wouldn't expect anytime a big company does something that sounds good, got to dig into it because I'm not going to trust it.
Any thoughts on that, Saurez?
Honestly, no, man. I have nothing on that right now because this is brand new news to me.
Yeah, man, you hit me with it too. I didn't know about this story.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's common sense. Of course, people are on Facebook and Instagram pimping and doing all these type of things and speaking in codes. But I just find it interesting because Apple's willing to go to war with Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. Like, why do you think there's like this big sort of rivalry between all the big tech companies? Are they just trying to like get them out the way? Is it just, what is it really?
That's what I'm thinking, man. I think we can kind of compare this to the earlier discussion we had about the Cuomo brothers, you know, and their relationship to the rest of the Democrats or the political world. You know, there's something behind the scenes that we don't know about. So Facebook or whatever did something to Apple that we're not going to find out about. And that's what this is about, not about human trafficking. Because Apple builds all of their things in China using slave labor from the Uyghurs. So, you know, whatever.
So let's transition right quick, right? So as maybe some of y'all know it, some of y'all maybe don't, but apparently this lady, this white woman, is very important nowadays. Her name is Gaby Petito. Petito? What's her name? Petito, right? So apparently Gaby Petito is very popular nowadays, right? And for me, when I first seen the story coming out, I seen that Fox News was the one reporting on the story as if it was like groundbreaking and people really cared about it until these other left-wing media outlets picked it up because, you know, they were talking about it, right? And to me, it came to my mind. It's like, wow, this is the most perfect example of a news media outlet creating and manufacturing a story. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, because in my opinion, I just think like Fox News is trying to leverage their power and say, listen, we can make anything big news. Like, look at this shit and stuff like that. Like who? No one gave a fuck about her. She's not OJ. But they're reporting on her like she's damn OJ Simpson. Like, okay, like we feel bad for her. Okay, but what about all those black kids that were fucking kidnapped in Atlanta that we never heard about? We still don't know about them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
my thoughts on that. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my thoughts on this are kind of complex, man. I want to say it's like just sort of one big psyop, like let's take the story about this little blonde white girl, blow it way out of proportion. So then black people, Latino, whatever, are then going to say, why is this white girl getting all of the attention? And then there you go. There's a little more controversy, a little more discord between everybody that didn't need to be there. Because it's true. It's not really it shouldn't really be a big news story. This kind of thing happens constantly. So I look at it as one big psyop, or maybe both of these. I'll say, or man, it could just be one big distraction from some other massive story, like actually something that has been going on is the way the Biden administration wants to change the reporting limit on financial transactions. I'll skip that for now. We'll stick to Gaby Petito, but I'm saying that there's a lot of these big things going on that maybe we're being distracted from, but it's also a great way to sow more racial discord.
What do you think about that, Saurez?
Yeah, I feel it's more towards the racial discourse that you're talking about, because I feel like because Fox News is more right-leaning, they're not going to want to like cover up something that Biden is doing wrong or something that he's not doing. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're stirring something up, because I also I was reading these headlines and they would label the story like America's daughter is missing or something like that. Like America's, is crying at the news of this. I'm like, what? Like you said, these unfortunately the people go missing every day. I live 30 minutes away from Toledo in Ohio, which is known as a sex trafficking capital of the United States. I don't see Fox News making articles about missing Latino, Black, or even the white girls that go missing here. Nothing. So I feel like there's something they're trying to distract, or they're shifting focus on something, but I don't know, man. It's been really weird with this, whatever this is going on.
Yeah, and it came like sort of out of nowhere. Like who is this lady? We do not care. Like honestly, like this, like Donald, like I said, Donald Trump, Joe Biden is literally destroying the damn country, and all you motherfuckers want to, oh, Gaby, oh, and then the Democrats is like, oh my God, Haitians are gonna be whipped. Like, motherfuckers, don't you know that Joe Biden is wrecking the economy and he's having IRS spying on motherfuckers with any transaction over $600? Like, don't you know that like 12 Marines that just got exploded? Like, don't you know, he just drone strike the aid worker that was not a terrorist? Like, don't you know that he said he was gonna shut down the virus, and the virus was never shut down, and now we have the Delta virus? Like, we have a piece of shit, like a living puppet in office. Like, we literally have a Manchurian candidate in office, and all these people are like, oh my God, Drake wears his hat backwards. Oh my God. Like, oh, like, this is insane. Like, I literally hate you. Anyone that voted for Joe Biden, I fucking hate you. I hope you die. You're a piece of shit. Like, literally, you thought Donald Trump was worse than Joe Biden? Like, suck a dick. Like, I fucking hate you.
I heard this meme that was like, or I looked at this meme that was perfect. It said, Joe Biden is who you said Donald Trump was.
That's a good one. That's a real good one there, man.
Yeah, they thought Donald Trump was a Hitler. Oh my God, Donald Trump is Hitler. Oh, like we literally have a Hitler in office. Like, we have the biggest piece of shit in office. Like, he has Alzheimer's, he has dementia, he's a pedophile. He can't stop sniffing little girls. He can't stop touching little girls. Like, his son is a crackhead. Like, his
That's
son
some crazy shit. That laptop stuff.
Yeah, that should be a massive story, not this Gaby Petito shit.
Look how politicized his Trump's kids were. What's his Ivanka? Yeah. Ivanka's the wife, right?
Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. and the blonde, his daughter. I don't know her name.
Ivanka.
Okay.
Yeah.
dude, they couldn't like, sneeze without, like doing it wrong. Like they wipe their like face like this. Oh my God, they're throwing up the white power, symbol, like all this crazy shit. And meanwhile, you got Hunter Biden over here. I've heard different like rumors that all that painting bullshit that he does is a way for them to like siphon money.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good hustle. I'm gonna give it to the crackhead. The crackhead is very resourceful. The crackhead knows how to make some damn money. I'm gonna tell you right. Like there were text messages that came out talking about like, oh, I don't want those nigga deals and I don't want them Hennessy prices. Like this is insane. Like imagine if Donald Trump Jr. said, oh, I don't want them charging Hennessy prices.
Right. Yeah.
Like what the like that's so insane. Like, but the media doesn't care. They want to protect Joe Biden. They don't want to seem so bad for getting him elected when they were been preaching and screaming and yelling to get this guy elected. So they're like, okay, let's turn the blind eye. He's still not worse than Trump. So it's just ridiculous.
Well, on something slightly a little bit different, I'm looking at our live comments section over here, and we just got notified that we are being shadow banned, something terrible that most of the people that subscribe to us can't find the stream.
Uh-oh.
Which is to be expected.
It is absolutely
YouTube to do these sort of things. Susan, whatever her name is, she does interviews with Transformers. It's to be expected. Like I expect this sort of thing.
Yep.
So I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think about the current state of music? In particular, rap music, right? Because if they think you're saying, oh, rap music, you don't like rap music, you're against black people, right? But no, you're just making shitty music and then you're reposting shitty music and, all this type of shit. Like, I just don't understand that, right? We know what good music is. Led Zeppelin, like, come on. Pink Floyd, that's good music. You know what I'm saying? But now we have to listen to the little Yachty's and the little fucking whoever it is. And we're supposed to eat it because it's manufactured to us. Because they had it down to a damn science to fucking.
They actually did, you're actually onto something. They actually did narrow it down to a science. Most of the top songs, pop songs, and hip hop are produced by the same few guys. You can narrow it down to everything that you hear can be narrowed down to the same 3 or 4 people. And there is a formula that they use. And I heard an interesting phrase a while back called low information music. And it made a lot of sense, that there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of nuance in the chord changes and the progressions, even the textures, beats, everything. It's all really, really simplified. Like sometimes to where you can have one chord progression that is the entire 3-minute song. It never changes.
That's really interesting, right? Because a lot of the music nowadays does sound manufactured. So it's like, maybe they do have this shit down to a science.
Oh, no, it absolutely is, man. And the leader of that entire thing, the chief architect of all of this crap is a guy named Max Martin. Go ahead and look him up,
Max Martin, I heard of him before.
Yeah, he has produced, man, 80% of the crap that you're going to hear. And, he knows what he's doing, man, and it's definitely down to a science, almost like the subliminal side of it, where they know which chord changes, which whatever is going to make a certain demographic listen to something.
Having technical difficulties. I can't talk right now currently.
I see that.
My camera is heating up apparently, so
that's because we've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah. Sony, you fucking suck. I don't want no endorsements from you, you piece of shit. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Back.
I'm back, man. So Flores, you don't listen to any hip hop, correct?
I do, man. But I'll be honest, I've been totally out of touch lately. Like, I don't listen to much because, to me, I can't really identify with it, nor can I agree with it. Like, some of the messages that they talk, you know, they end up talking about the same bullshit over and over again, and then it's like, it gets to a point where I'm just like, dude, like, you're making your own race, your own culture look bad. Like, you're making the people who are trying to not be those like thugs and like drug dealers and to like glorifying that bullshit, like you're glorifying it. Like, people do those things because they have to, not because they find it fucking cool and they want to fucking show off and shit. So I can't get with that kind of stuff. And then it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you guys have peeped this shit that's kind of been going on, this beef that I've been noticing happening for a while now between the Black community and the LGBT community. And that's a fucking storm that's like coming like head on right now. And I've noticed that shit also because of Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has made a lot of comments in a couple of his stand-up acts when he's talked about how they kind of compare their struggle to like the Black struggle, but kind of do it in like a misery Olympics type of style, where it's like, we've suffered more. No, you guys suffered less, like that type of shit. And I don't know, man. I think it's seeping into a lot of the hip hop right now. And like, you know, the Baby getting canceled. The Baby got canceled.
The Baby, yeah.
With all that stuff. And I don't know. I've just been really out of touch with it lately. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, we just have a bunch of fucking pussies. Like, back in the days in the 90s, we had Tupac going to war with Dolores Tucker, and she didn't want fucking rap music to be so prominent the way it was. And now we have female rappers having to stand up than the men, because the men are afraid to speak out because they don't want to lose the bag, you know, the money, and et cetera, et cetera. So we're stuck with female rappers now having to be more masculine than male rappers. So we're kind of in a shitty position because, like I said, Democrats used to be for free speech, but they're really not. They don't know that, and they're so afraid because of cancel culture, and they see what happens to people that speak out, you know. So we just got a bunch of pussies. Like, we need more people like Tupac Shakur. We need more people like what's the guy from Public Enemy? Chuck D. We need more people like Chuck D. We got a bunch of soft motherfuckers that don't give a fuck. Like, we used to make sentimental music, right? That could be respected and understood, right? Tupac made music for the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Biggie made music for the world. People understood like, nowadays, there's hardly any sentimental. It's all computerized, manufactured bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I only get excited when some of my artists come out, and I'm like, you know, I'm excited. You know, Kanye West, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. I get excited. You know what I'm saying? Because I just appreciate good music. But nowadays, it's like all these dumbass Democrats. It's like, oh my God, listen to this person. He is the culture. Like, dude, you're just insane, and I hate you. That's it. That's all, man. Like, what happened to good music? Like, we just appreciate, like, even when, like, if you were from the hood, even like growing up, if you were 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, you appreciated Linkin Park. You appreciated Coldplay. You appreciated My Chemical Romance. You appreciate all that. These people they're creating now don't appreciate shit. They have a short attention span. They can't see things unless it's under 2 minutes. It's a damn shame. We're not a first world country anymore.
Well, that's that whole like Lil Nas X stuff. Like none of his songs are past like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe, if that. They just have like a really catchy beat, a hook, and it's the music video that really makes the impact of the song itself.
Right.
And then they just
Yeah, and we don't give a damn if you want dick in your ass. We don't care if you want to post pictures with you being pregnant. We don't give a fuck. Like, stop targeting children. And he's the same motherfucker on Breakfast Club talking about fuck your kids. Well, fuck you, you fucking little faggot, little fucking dick.
All right.
Like, I'm tired of this shit, motherfucker. We're not playing these damn games anymore. You come for my children, I'm gonna come for your bitch ass. You okay? And it's not hate speech, YouTube. You motherfuckers, you little dweebs in your fucking computer. This is not hate speech. Okay, stop that shit, man. I love everybody. I have gay cousins. I have a gay sister. We don't give a fuck if you're gay, but don't promote it to the children. And then YouTube fucking promotes all his video to children. Okay. Tired of you motherfuckers.
I think on that note, we might wrap this up.
oh shit.
I'm sorry.
Good job, Shu.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna edit the fuck out of this before we post it.
Hey, anyways, Saurez, we appreciate you coming on to the channel.
Yeah, big time, man.
Seriously, you're always welcome here. Would you like to promote your channel and things like that?
Sure, man. I got a YouTube going live with Saurez, Instagram at Nico.715. And yeah, I appreciate it, man. It was a blast. You know, I thought we were gonna do MMA, but I love doing this other stuff because it gives me a break of just talking MMA all the time. So I appreciate it, brothers.
Cool. Yeah, great to meet you, man.
Yeah, don't want to blindside you, but yeah, we just like to talk about everything. And if you just thought we were gonna talk about MMA, I do apologize. But you know, we take it to wherever the winds take us to. You know what I'm saying? So
I'd love to be back on, bro. If you ever have me back on, just let me know, and love to do this again for sure.
I appreciate that, brother. So on that note, Dinno, do you want to take us off?
Absolutely, man. All right, Saurez, nice job. Chew, we will do this again. See ya.